Thank you to Bill Guerrero. Before we begin, I just want to tell everybody that has stood and sat and crouched through the entire 70 minutes of this film that it is deeply touching to me and deeply inspiring to have such a standing room only audience here. And a lot of people criticize Purchase for its apathy, and this has certainly shown that that's not the case. So I really, it's very meaningful to me that all of you have come here and are interested in this topic. And again, I hope you continue to pursue this kind of track. I'd like to introduce Cherie Richards, and thank you. And she's the representative. She's going to have about 5 minutes to present an informative piece that she'd like to show us that would perhaps shed light as to the Starbucks view on this film, and also, I also want to say that during all of these presentations, basically Cherie will speak for 5 minutes, Peter will speak for 5 minutes, and then they're each going to have maybe a couple of minutes to respond to some of the claims made by each other. During which time I would like all of you, because there's so many of you, to just write down on a slip of paper any questions or comments that you may have. You may use the questionnaire if you so choose, but write down the questions and put the speaker who you're addressing the question to. And that way I can kind of speed up the process by reading them all out. So, Cherie Richardson.
Anyone need paper?
First of all, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I did say to Bill when I met him in the NACAS convention that I hoped that we would have a big response, because it's a truly passion of mine, as I can see it is of all of you. So today, the purpose of me to be here is really to continue to send out facts and knowledge about our purchasing of fair trade in the coffee growing regions across the world, as well as the practices that we take to help raise the economic and environmental issues within the third world country, and to make lives better for those poverty-stricken areas. So we do a lot around fair trade, and we do a lot of other holistic approaches, and the presentation today will show a little bit of that. But my goal by the end of the night tonight is really to be able to see what we can do. I mean, there is a lot of energy and a lot of passion in this room, and a lot of commitment and great leadership. So moving forward, I think there's a lot that we can do in partnership with Starbucks to really make a difference and make a change. And it's to take this room and extrapolate it across the country of colleges, even across the state of all of SUNY colleges that you have, and just to take that and to move it forward, to make change and to elevate. So having said that, I brought a little bit of a presentation. I did want to respond to the movie. First of all, it's an incredibly powerful movie, and hopefully it'll be shown again and again across colleges, so that it will ignite passion and change and hope to make a difference. So, is that mine or yours? One of the statements that it had finished with. I'm not nervous. All right. Oh my gosh. Is it on the phone? I thought I did. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Got it. A couple things. One is Starbucks does currently and has always supported Oxfam and their efforts in raising awareness around poverty in third world countries and eliminating it. We work collectively and collaboratively with them when we can and on issues that we can, and we truly support that in many ways. What we did not do was support the film, and the reason why was the request was made by no fault of Oxon, but to the wrong people, and that information did not get to our corporate social responsibility department. So it's more of our fault. And what we did do is, once we were aware that it was being distributed and published, that we reached out to Oxfam and to the producers of the show and apologized both verbally and in writing. So unfortunately, the only way we can get the word out that we supported is through representatives like myself and in venues like this. But we are certainly not against it, and you'll see some of the reasons why as I go through the presentation. I'm a little nervous, so I'm going to read somewhat from my notes. And it will be just a little bit more than 5 minutes, but I think you'll see a lot of value in it. So the first slide, basically, Starbucks experience about great quality. We're going to talk a lot about quality of coffee and how that impacts fair trade. Farmers, millers, exporters, and importers grow, process, and supply coffee to Starbucks, share the same uncompromising commitment to quality, and we value and enable them to continue to grow high-quality coffee so that we can continue to purchase it. Through our relationships with the coffee-growing regions and around the world, we've become aware of the need for a sustainable approach for coffee production, and one that touches all aspects of the supply chain, from farming to processing and exporting. So this is a letter from one of the coffee producers in Papua New Guinea. Arlie Hull is his name, and his letter demonstrates the link between quality and prices. This is a handwritten letter that he had sent to us. I'll give you a moment briefly just to read it. If you're having trouble hearing me in the back, just raise your hand and that'll be your signal, because sometimes I don't want you to miss it. Okay, so Starbucks takes a holistic approach to production, purchasing a high-quality coffee, in paying premium prices, investing in our coffee communities, providing access to credit, and buying fair trade, organic, and shade-grown coffees. In fact, Starbucks remains the largest buyer and roaster of retail and fair trade coffees in North America. About 30% of the coffee that comes into North America is purchased by Starbucks, fair trade coffee. Implementing our own set of coffee standards by buying coffee buying guidelines, in the cafe practices, and by supporting farmer support centers throughout San Jose, Costa Rica. We opened a farmer support center recently in Rwanda, and we'll open one next year in Ethiopia, in the capital of Ethiopia as well. Those coffee support centers will have their own scientists. They'll help local coffee growers to grow sustainable coffee and also to grow higher quality coffee so that it can be purchased at a higher price. So what determines coffee price? You heard the New York market does. What also determines premium coffee price is quality of product, quality of coffee. So Starbucks' commitment to pay premium prices for premium coffee has not wavered over the years. Since 1971, we have always paid a premium price for our coffee, which has always been above fair trade market price. So we've done this since day one because we as a company know that it's the right thing to do and it matches with our mission statement and guiding principles. But two, we also know that coffee is necessary for our future growth in the coffee industry. So we need it to be sustainable. We need it to be high quality coffee. We've always paid that higher price. We believe that any product that is linked to sustainability is linked to quality. It's an approach that not only serves the short and long-term economic interests of coffee farmers and suppliers, it also serves Starbucks' interests by creating incentives for farmers to improve quality and increase the production, which in turn contributes to more sustainable supply of high-quality coffee, which we depend on.